So I've been helping Joseph with Fire Within workshops, customer seminars, for quite some time now. What we do we help people with the hands-on portion of the workshop, which is making dough. We take care of any kind of fears there are of jumping into the dough making process. We cover everything from the ingredients to use, the equipment, as well as the actual dough making process. And anything we answer any questions that there may be that come up with regards to dough storage, the day of use of the dough, etc. Basically, answer any questions you might have about dough making. On day 2, then we get you rolling dough and making pizzas. So we answer any questions you might have with respect to using the oven as well as actual dough or pizza making process. At the Monday extension, we go into more intricate detail of the use of ovens. These ovens they're not just pizza ovens, they're wood-fired ovens. So we go into wood-fired cuisine, which would be anything from breakfast items, desserts, antipasti, main courses. So we go into roasting meats. We go into breakfast items such as breakfast sandwiches you might be using at farmers markets, since the farmers markets are generally in the morning hours. So we go into breakfast pizzas, breakfast sandwiches, and other breakfast items. Antipasti platters we cover for more of the catering side of the aspect of use for these ovens. Roasting meats. Really, we get into the full use of wood-fired ovens. Before I jumped into wood-fired ovens and pizza, I had actually spent 12 years in aviation, basically in an office environment, in a corporate environment, and decided that I wanted to pursue my passion of food. So I jumped off, and I attended culinary school. I lived in Italy for 9 months. And toured around Italy, working in several kitchens and really absorbing the Italian way of life. That's where I learned how to cook with fire and some of the pizza recipes that I currently use on the street. But the biggest part, my driver is my passion for food, and that could come from anybody in this aspect. I see a lot of people with these seminars coming from similar backgrounds. It's not a deal breaker. This is a way to put your foot in the door to something much bigger than actually taking the full commitment of opening a restaurant. It's a lower, I'm going to say lower risk of getting into something like this. You could even utilize something to continue working where you're working, but do more of a weekend. Satisfy your passion for food on the weekends using something like this without having to jump into as much capital, and then let it evolve from there. And that's what I've done with Brava Pizzeria. Is I jumped in with Fire Within trailer, wood-fired oven, and I've let it evolve from there. The catering has increased exponentially since opening 2 years ago, and things are looking beautiful from here. I attended this workshop before jumping on the street, and it really laid to rest some questions that I had about dough making and about even though I did come from a semi-culinary background. It laid to rest some questions that I had about dough making process, about setting up, about firing up the ovens, any aspect there is about this business, the catering side of it, the festival side, any type of retail or income generation mode that you're thinking about is covered in these classes. It's really evolved since I attended 2 years ago. The hands-on, I'd say it's perfected every time, every session that we've gone through. It's been perfected. The flow is great. it's some classroom work, but it's again, it's getting on your feet and using your hands, and the hands-on portion, I think, is the most valuable part. To me, it was good to get in there and get my hands dirty and really go through the process of understanding how the flow might work when you're actually on the street. You can kind of conceive yourself in that environment, but this really puts you out there to let you understand like how it actually flows and works.